Most of my life, I thought my personality was just, well, me. I thought the way I talked, the way I led, the way I argued, the way I needed to be in control, that was my identity. I wore it like a badge of honor. This is who I am. I'm the one who sees what others don't. I lead because people need it. I correct people because they're wrong. And I know better. In my head, I believed that made me strong, confident, and ahead of everyone else. But I need to tell you the truth. That wasn't the real me. That was the survival version of me. That was the version I built to feel safe, powerful, and untouchable. And I lived from that version for a long time. What I didn't realize was that my personality wasn't born from identity. It was born from pain. It was shaped from the moments I felt unseen, misunderstood, or powerless. It was a reaction, a defense, it was a mask. And for a lot of you watching this, the same thing is true. You think your personality is who you are, but the person you call me might actually be the guard you built to feel protected in a world that hurt you. And today, I want to show you 5 of the most common survival personalities men develop without even knowing it. And I guarantee you're going to see yourself in at least one of these. So let's start with the most common one in men today, the peacemaker. This is the guy who doesn't want to rock the boat. He avoids conflict, avoids tension, and avoids anything that might cause emotional discomfort. His whole life has been built on staying neutral. He's the easygoing guy, the I'm fine guy, the it's whatever man guy. He thinks he's being chill, humble, non-dramatic, but underneath, he's numb. He's learned early on that his needs were too much, or that conflict led to chaos, so he shut himself down. Peace became more important than truth. He disconnected from his own desires, his voice, his anger, and even his calling, all to keep the peace outside of him, while a quiet war was going on inside. Deep down, this man is exhausted from pretending he's okay. The moment of awakening for the peacemaker, it's when he realizes that avoiding discomfort is killing his purpose. God didn't design him to be a ghost in his own life. He was meant to stand, speak, feel, and take up space. The second survival personality, it's the protector. This one, well, is loud, intense, and strong. Or at least that's what he wants everyone to believe. This guy he's the leader, he thinks he's in control, he dominates and stays 3 steps ahead because he refuses to ever feel powerless again. He built strength to survive. He built confidence to hide the fear. He built a hard shell to make sure nobody could ever hurt him the way they did before. People think he's bold, fearless, and in charge, but underneath all that intensity is a little boy who never felt safe. So he became the protector, not just of others, but of himself. This man thinks vulnerability is weakness, so he never lets anyone get close enough to truly know him. He thinks he's protecting himself, but what he's actually doing is blocking intimacy, connection, and love. His awakening moment, it comes from when he realizes that real strength isn't control, it's surrender. It's letting someone see the parts of him that he spent his whole life trying to hide. God didn't design him to build walls. He designed him to build connection rooted in truth. The third survival personality is the lone wolf. This is the man who retreats into his mind, into isolation, and into independence. Or that's what we can call it, I guess, independence. He prides himself on not needing anyone. He's the observer, the thinker, the analyzer. He watches life more than he participates in it. He often grew up in environments where emotions felt overwhelming, confusing, or unsafe. So he escaped into knowledge, hobbies, gaming, YouTube, podcasts. He feels safer alone than with people. He's comfortable in his head, but disconnected from his heart. This man will convince himself he's self-sufficient, when in reality, he's just protecting himself from the possibility of rejection or emotional demand. And you can't run from that. You can't run from the storm. His awakening moment is that isolation isn't strength. It's self-protection dressed as independence. God didn't create him to live life from a distance. He was designed for community, vulnerability, and connection, not observation. The fourth survival personality is the fixer, also known as the rescuer. This guy's identity is built on helping others. I know you guys are out there. He's the one people go to when they need advice, support, encouragement, or emotional rescue, but always ends up usually being a punching bag, an emotional punching bag for others. Growing up, he learned love was earned through service, by being the good kid, the responsible one, the caretaker, and the therapist. For everyone else, obviously. He became the fixer because fixing others let him avoid his own pain. It made him feel important and safe. But here's the truth. Most fixers don't want to face, okay? Helping everyone else is often a distraction from the healing they refuse to do internally. And the moment of awakening for this man is realizing that God didn't design him to be everyone's savior, okay? Because that role is already taken. His worth isn't found in being needed. His worth is found in being known by God and loved beyond his usefulness. The fifth survival personality, and this guy is the rarest, is the chameleon. This is the man who shape shifts to fit whatever environment he's in. He's the guy who never truly feels like he belongs anywhere. So he constantly reinvents himself to be accepted. He changes his style, his passion, his humor, his energy, all based on who he's with. And deep down, he feels different, misunderstood, and like he's always searching for something that makes him feel real. And growing up, he may have felt unseen or too much, or like something about him was wrong. So he started performing different identities to find love. He's constantly trying to find himself. But the truth is, he's never felt safe being his original self. His awakening moment is when he realizes that the version of him he keeps trying to create will never satisfy. Because the real him is the one God made, not the one he performs. Now, listen closely to what I'm about to say, okay? Because this is the part most men miss. Your personality isn't fake. It's just the wounded version of your design. God wired you with a certain strength, a certain flavor, certain calling, but trauma, it twisted it into survival mode. The peacemaker was meant to be a bringer of truth-based peace, not a conflict-avoiding ghost. The protector was designed to be a courageous defender, not a closed-off warrior living behind walls. Lone wolf was created to carry wisdom and insight, not isolation and emotional disconnection. And the fixer was meant to love deeply and compassionately, but not lose himself in everyone else's problems. And last but not least, the chameleon was designed to express God's creativity, depth, and uniqueness, not wear a new identity every time he feels insecure. Your wiring is real. Your gifting is real, but you've been living the wounded version of it, not the healed, God-authored version. Now, this is where God comes in, because only God can restore identity. Therapy can help you understand the mask. Coaching can help you remove it, but only Jesus can show you who you were before the wound. The enemy doesn't care if you go to church, do breath work, read self-help books, or work on yourself. As long as you never meet the version of you God created. Because the wounded version of you is manageable, but the healed, restored, spirit-filled version of you is dangerous to darkness. And if you're feeling something right now, like something inside you is waking up, pay attention. That's not hype. That is your spirit remembering who you are. If this hit you, and you're ready to actually see what the process of healing looks like, not the polished version, not the Instagram faith quotes, but the real messy journey, go watch Behind the Storm after this. That's where I share the struggles of my story, the rawness of it. I'm still walking through, by the way, without the tough, big Merc exterior. If this woke something up in you, subscribe, because, whew, baby, I'm just getting started.